What's up, guys? A couple of weeks ago I made a video where I talked about whether or not you should invest in enchanting materials for 10.1 due to the new upgrade materials, new crests. Since then the patch date has been announced. I was hit with the fear of missing out, the big old FOMO, so I decided to drop some gold. I spent some money. I decided to invest. We're going to talk about why it might be a good idea to still do it, why it might be a bad idea to still do it. I honestly have no idea if I'm going to make a profit. I'm not going to pretend that I know. So the first thing to do is to actually show you what I bought. Well, I ended up buying 20,000-ish vibrant shards and about 500 of these, 500 resonant crystals. About 500k spent total. So not the largest amount, but that's what I bought. So one thing to note is that when you're investing for a patch, typically the best time to do it is very early on, way before the patch date is announced. So what does that mean? It means that for some items the best time to invest has already gone. It's in the past. I didn't hit it. I bought these resonant crystals at like 300 gold per. Look at the price graph here. You can see that the resonant crystal prices exploded when the news came out. Went from 200 gold, which is where they've typically been on the EU, to about 320, 350, with 300, which is the range it's been operating in for the most part since then. I bought for about 300 per, and obviously the best time to buy was here. And if you bought here, then you're already profitable. And there's also been definitely multiple cases in the past where, like, if you bought here, you end up not making gold because the price never increases when the patch comes out. I don't think that's going to be the case here, personally, which is why I've invested, even though the price is higher. But it has happened in the past, so just buyers beware, guys. Buyers beware. Now, interestingly, if we look at vibrant shards and chromatic dust, the price hasn't changed as much. So the price was about 10 gold before the news came out. It's between 10 and 11 gold for the most part. It spikes up every once in a while. As you can see here, there's not that much volume available at 10 gold and then a lot at 12. But still, we're looking at the price increase of 10-20%, whereas for resonant crystals, the prices are up 50%, so a much larger increase. Which is a little bit surprising because when I did my analysis, vibrant shards are actually the most likely bottleneck back when I looked at the recipes. Chromatic dust is showing pretty much the same thing as the vibrant shards. They spiked up a little bit. It's been a little bit spiky, but still for large periods of time, you've been able to get these for just a little over 2 gold. So we're looking at, 10% increase if you're buying at the cheap times. So nothing massive there either. So I think one of the reasons why the prices haven't gone up as much on these two, is just that they're incredibly impractical to store. I mean, even this is like 300,000 gold worth of vibrant shards. I mean, look at how much space it's taken up. And imagine if I did chromatic dust as well, where it's just 2 gold per, so you're looking at like 2,000 gold per stack, or 2,500 gold per stack. Yeah, that would fill my inventory real quick. But yeah. Now, why did I buy, even though the best time might be in the past? I mean, obviously buying the resonant crystals was a big risk for me. There's no getting around that. But why did I decide to buy, even though I was late here? I went on vacation and then the date came out and I bought like to this day or something like that. I don't remember. The reason is because I recently got the unstable elementium recipe on my jeweler crafter, and it made me realize, it made me look at silken gem dust prices, which is used in that recipe to upgrade your onyx amulet gems, right? Silken gem dust prices went from 2 gold to 35, 40 at the peak. That's almost a 20 times increase in price. It's absolutely massive. And then even from like just before launch, it went from 4 gold to 35, 40 gold. So a 10 times increase, even if you bought like late here. So my conclusion is rather that there's like, with the region-wide auction house, there's the potential that demand is so high and so concentrated that the price just explodes. And I mean the enchanting materials, everyone's going to want crests, everyone's going to want them for their alts, everyone's going to want them for their main upgrades, for crafted gear upgrades. Obviously it's the same system, so it's all the same crests that are going into gear, but generally speaking, I expect that crafted gear will be relatively high on people's priority, because you have really strong embellished effects. You know that with your crafted gear you have guaranteed the best possible stats. The fact that you can get it in your priority slot, so you can get a weapon early on, or you can get another slot that's very valuable in terms of how much it provides for your character. You can guarantee that slot rather. So that's what I would expect to kind of see. And yeah, I mean, we saw this just crazy stuff happening with Silk and Gem Dust, and it's still very expensive, even though we're 2-3 weeks deep in the patch. So that's why I bought. I just think that there's the potential for something similar to happen. I don't think there's a guarantee for something similar to happen, but that's why I decided to take the chance. So far I've spent about 500,000 gold. I'll probably spend more. I don't think I want to spend more than like 1 million more. That would be 1.5 million out of my 63 million on Draenor or something like that. So I probably will do that. If I do, I'll most likely focus on Vibrant Shards and Chromatic Dust a little bit more. Even though they're more annoying to store, I think they have some nice potential. And I think the Silk and Gem Dust example just proves that, like, items with huge volumes, even huge volumes available, and something that's really easy to generate, like Silk and Gem Dust, you just crush gems. Like, it's trivial, and the quality didn't matter at all for this particular use case, and there's literally hundreds of thousands of Silk and Gem Dust available, and the price still exploded. So that's why I think that even Chromatic Dust, even something with very large volume available, once people are going to start needing 50 to 100 of these, whatever the crest price is, we're going to start moving through this fairly quickly. I'm going to start moving through this volume very quickly. So yeah, that's why I bought. I think that there's the potential. Obviously there's no guarantee, but I decided to buy. So now you know what I've done. I've spent 500k, which granted is not a lot of gold for me. It's just not. I have, well, almost 100 million. So I'm rolling the dice. I'm doing it with you guys so we can see if it works out or not, and I'm telling you ahead of time. And there's still the possibility to join me, because, well, prices have been steady for most of these, and I don't expect to see any big spikes unless, well, thousands of you take my advice and start buying on the U. But I definitely think there's possibilities still. Rust Nut crystals are a little bit riskier because they've already gone up in price, which means that there's a lot of supply potentially available from people who bought here. But supply has also increased a little bit, so people are selling off more of their stuff. At least the peaks are a little bit higher. Obviously it's hard to tell, but Rust Nut crystals a little bit riskier in my opinion, since we've already seen a massive price increase, which means that there's been a lot more stocking of this for sure, relative to Vibrant Shards and Chromatic Dusts. But we'll just have to see. Silk and Gem Dust has definitely been shown the way, and is what made me get into this racket. So, have you invested? Let me know in the comments. Are you looking forward to 10.1? Let me know as well, and well, we'll see how this turns out.